My Dream of Heaven, Chapter 7, Part 1. The following morning my brother said to me, after an interesting hour of instruction, "Shall we go for the promised visit to Mrs. Wickham now?" "Indeed, yes," I answered eagerly, so we at once set forth. We soon reached her lovely home and found her waiting at the entrance as though expecting us. After a cordial greeting to our friend, my brother said, "I'll leave you together for that long talk, for which I know you are both eager, and will go my way to other duties. I will find you later on at home." The last remark to me. "All right," I answered. "I'm familiar with the way now and need no attendance." After he had gone, my friend took me all over her lovely home, showing me with great pleasure the rooms prepared for each beloved member of her earthly household still to come. One very large room, into whose open windows at each end the blossom and fruit-laden boughs of the immortal trees looked invitingly, was evidently her especial care. She whispered to me, "Douglas always did like a large room. I'm sure he will like this one," and I was also sure. Returning down the broad stairway, we found it entered into a very large music room with broad galleries supported by marble columns, running across three sides of it on a level with the second floor. In this gallery was a number of musical instruments, harps, violas, and some unlike any instruments I had ever seen elsewhere. The room itself was filled with easy chairs, couches, and window seats, where listeners could rest and hear the sweet harmonies from the gallery. "My daughter," my friend explained, "who left us in early childhood, has received a fine musical training here, and is fond of gathering in her young friends and giving us quite often a musical treat. You know our old home of Springville has furnished some rare voices for the heavenly choirs. Mary Alice Wilgriggs and many others you will often hear in this room, I trust." We re-entered from this room the dainty reception hall opening upon the front veranda and outer steps. Here Mrs. Wickham drew me to a seat beside her and said, "Now tell me everything of the dear home and all its blessed inmates." Holding each other's hands as we talked, the questioning, I answering, things too sacred to be repeated here were dwelt upon for hours. At last she said, rising hastily, "I will leave you for a little while. Nay, you must not go," as I would have risen. "There is much yet to be said. Wait here, I will return." I had already learned not to question the judgment of these wiser friends, and yielded to her will. As she passed through the doorway to the inner house, I saw a stranger at the front entrance and arose to meet him. He was tall and commanding in form, with a face of ineffable sweetness and beauty. Where had I seen him before? Surely I had met him since I came. "Ah, now I know," I thought. "It is St. John, the beloved disciple." He had been pointed out to me one morning by the riverside. "Peace be unto this house," was his salutation as he entered. How his voice stirred and thrilled me. No wonder the Master loved him, with that voice and that face. "Enter. Thou art a welcome guest. Enter, and I will call the mistress," I said, as I approached him to bid him welcome. "Nay, call her not. She knows that I am here. She will return," he said. "Sit thou a while beside me," he continued, as he saw that I still stood after I had seen him seated. He rose and led me to a seat near him, and like a child I did as I was bidden, still watching, always watching, the wonderful face before me. "You have but lately come," he said. "Yes, I am here but a short time, so short that I know not how to reckon time as you count it here," I answered. "Ah, that matters little," he said with a gentle smile. "Many cling always to the old reckoning and the earth language. It is a link between the two lives. We would not have it otherwise. How does the change impress you? How do you find life here?" "Ah," I said, "if they could only know." I never fully understood until now the meaning of that sublime passage. "Eye hath not seen nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which God hath prepared for them that love him." It is indeed past human conception. I spoke with deep feeling. For them that love him? Do you believe that all Christians truly love him? He asked. Do you think they love the Father for the gift of the Son, and the Son because of the Father's love and mercy? Or is their worship oftentimes that of duty rather than love? He spoke reflectively and gently. Oh, I said, you who so well know the beloved Master, you who are so loved by him, how can you doubt the love he must inspire in all hearts who seek to know him? A radiant glow overspread the wonderful face which he lifted, looking directly at me. The mist rolled away from before my eyes, and I knew him. With a low cry of joy and adoration, I threw myself at his feet, bathing them with happy tears. He gently stroked my bowed head for a moment, and then rising, lifted me to his side. My Savior, my King, I whispered, clinging closely to him. Yes, an elder brother and friend, he added, wiping away tenderly the tears stealing from beneath my closed eyelids. Yes, yes, the chiefest among 10,000, and the one altogether lovely. Again I whispered. Ah, now you begin to meet the conditions of the new life. Like many another, the changing of faith to sight with you has engendered a little shrinking, a little fear. That is all wrong. Have you forgotten the promise? I go to prepare a place for you, that where I am, there you may be also. If you loved me when you could not see me except by faith, love me more now, when we have really become co-heirs of the Father. Come to me with all that perplexes or gladdens. Come to the elder brother, always waiting to receive you with joy.